Hello, hello, hello. We have a whole bunch of Weekly Shonen Jump to get caught up on. I think we're like 5 chapters behind on everything, so it's going to be a marathon. We're going to start with 298 of Boku no Hero Academia, Sounds of Collapse. In the last one, we ended with a very ominous proclamation, all for one saying that this was the story of him becoming the greatest demon lord. A terrifying inversion of Deku saying at the start of the series that it was the story of him becoming the greatest hero. I suppose both those things can be true. The last one was focused entirely on that hospital raid, which happened really, really quickly. I thought that would be kind of like a little mini arc, but it just happened. And now with this, I'm assuming we're kind of like zooming out a little bit more, looking at the ramifications of this entire war, looking at what society is going to be like going forward now that people are kind of losing faith in Endeavor. There's no real symbol of justice that people can hide behind. It's our money that paid for that fish. Maguro. Tuna. What? As well as your medical treatments, the video doctoring, and Toga's new coat. So what? Got us to thank for your big boss Baldy being here in this hideout and not zonked out in a hospital bed. So this is people that worked for Reed Destro, people that worked for Detnerat, complaining that the League of Villains is using up all their funding, I guess. President of Detnerat, those are face I showed the world at large. Relinquishing command in the Meta Liberation Army and took a new leadership role in the road to the revolution. Or in these two faces, ever since our holy war in Daika City, there have literally been 2 of me. Literally. And the way that it says literally, and we're zooming in on twice, I think I'm going to take that very literally. That they made a double of him so that he could work twice as hard. He could do his Revolutionary Army stuff, and he could also do his leading a successful company stuff. Imagine my delight when you came to me with that joint development proposal. Oh, yeah. They were going to, like, give public funding to this company to make, like, personal protection type devices and stuff, I think. Or tools for heroes to better fight crime. I think. I don't know. That was quite a while ago. Both my faces were overcome with joy, short-lived though it was. So this is in some sort of skyscraper, because we can see the building, but then, yeah, so I think there literally is just 2 of them. To come at us now with such fire and brimstone, isn't the system you've built up your law and your order? Yes, I suppose it was necessary, but we seek order without order, true freedom through liberation. And then he melts away here. Is during the hospital raid, during the battle at that other hideout mansion. So I guess he dissolved when Twice died, and all of the clones everywhere died away? Is that what's going on here? So this was like a whole other thing that was happening. There's a bunch of heroes here. I don't know if there's anybody like notable, but they knew that this guy, even his public-facing side, the head of this corporation, was super shady and that they were raiding him too. I guess they knew all of that from Hawks's intel when he was working undercover. The seeds are already sown. Okay. 6 hours after the attack on Tartarus. Another prison raid. Another place called Xi'an Prison. We got some Nomus busting through, and then some hardened criminals that look like... This guy here especially looks like he could be the centerpiece villain of an entire arc. And I guess maybe he was, for a story not told, arrested by another hero. Now is getting busted out into this story. Terrifying character design. What is going on with his hand? Like, I thought at first it was a kid from One Piece type situation where he can kind of build himself a weapon out of metal around his hand. But no, it's like, that's just like part of his flesh for a while, and then it's not. It's a little spooky. Oh, I kind of have to sneeze. Oh, I hate this feeling. Okay, let's just keep trying to read, and then I might burst out and sneeze in a second. Bagu Prison, Kuin Prison, simultaneous raids of presumably all these major prisons all through Japan. Use of emergency aircraft. So this is like narration. This isn't all for one speaking. Seeking to attack 7 other prisons, freeing additional convicts from 6 of them. Why do they specify? Oh, excuse me. I have the sneeze. I have something stuck in my throat. It's all because I ate this. It was too spicy. I was eating the stuff right at the bottom of the bag. And it's all crushed up, so the spice is like extra concentrated and it like sticks to your throat. It's so tasty though. This is my official endorsement of Krusty's Tom Yum fish skin. Anyways, I'll have to get a glass of water after this. I'm very curious about this. Freeing additional convicts from 6 of them. Why not the 7th? Could there perhaps be a prison guard there too strong for their raiding efforts? That seems insane. Also curious here about the quirk being displayed. That All for One is like touching this guy's head, seemingly to mind control him. So they can use his biometric ID to operate the plane. But there's another plane obviously cooperating with them. Who's mind controlling the pilot of that plane? Unless All for One can also mind control him and he's just kind of doing this tap thing for a laugh. Yeah, you wish you could stop me, huh? Just keep flying that plane, dummy. I don't know. Okay. So now... So this is a little confusing too. That All for One is within Tomura's body. You can see here, he's speaking through Tomura. Hand on the face, chilling out on this Nomu that I guess is making itself a little living bench for him. Or something. But then also, in mind controlling this plane is All for One in All for One's body, right? That's what they were doing at the Tartarus prison, was busting his body out of the cell. So he's both? Got along more than I thought. Bonded over gaming and stuff. Shigareki was a gamer? Tomura-chan? A gamer at heart? Who are you? You're not the guy I agreed to follow. Have no fear. I hold the greatest respect for Tomura's will. This body simply needs rest, time and rest to be perfected, but once it is, our desires will come to fruition. Oh, I thought that might be a spread. Okay, so I'm a little confused as to the logistics of who's got the body, where is the mind, where is Tomura's mind, if anywhere, right now? Okay, 2 days later, Bakugo, stuck in the hospital bed, immediately starts ripping things off of himself. Shut up. I love that they're reassured by him being an asshole and just yelling at them. Central Hospital, the best place for state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line medical care. Okay. He starts asking about everybody else. This is going to be a big question, right? Like, how much damage did this arc do? Like, how out of commission are various characters going to be in the immediate future? Like, I think given all of the suffering, all of the intensity, really focusing on the idea of people sacrificing to win this battle, or to at least not lose this battle, it's going to be something. Somebody's going to be out of commission for a while. I'm thinking Eraserhead took it pretty rough. Probably Deku, but Deku's always getting beaten the crap out of and bouncing back. Endeavor, probably more damage to his image than to his actual body. But we can't write off that significant damage to his public image because of the big scandal. And Gran Torino, I think, is maybe just RIP. What's going on? Oh, Gran Torino is not RIP! He is just in really bad shape. And it looks like maybe one of his feet was amputated. Maybe. It's like kind of looking shorter, and the fact that you can see the toes prominently of the other foot And I think that would be like, if they're not going to kill him off, that's like a pretty devastating way to say, okay, he is not going to be a reliable fighter anymore, given that, he's always jetting around with his feet. Both you and Gran Torino have been much worse off if you got attention any later. What is up with this doctor, by the way? Is he a dinosaur? Does he have a dinosaur quirk? He kind of looks like a weird bootleg Yoshi. Thank Rocklock and the others for making your lives top priority. Ooh. And Eraser had lost a foot. Too? Or maybe Gran Torino didn't lose a foot. Maybe they both lost foots. I don't know. 2 people can each lose a foot. Enough, Yamada. I just want to know, how are the kids? Todoroki, extremely bandaged up. He took a full hit of Dabi's flames, so could be a lot worse off. Looks like he's not super physically beat up, at least. He's sitting up. There's a huge swarm of people outside. Don't let it get to you. Be alright. We saw Todoroki. We know about the situation. Be okay. Dang. This is pretty intense. Just seeing, not that they're totally side characters. All of Class 1A has received some nice development, but seeing characters like Momo, whom normally we see in a very specific sort of light, and full of competence and assurance and camaraderie, in a moment of weakness, in a moment of vulnerability, like really broken up. It's pretty intense. And is Endeavor even aware of the terrible state Japan's in right now? So we're kind of getting the perspective of these hospitalized people as we slowly come to grips with what must be happening across Japan right now after 7 simultaneous prison break-ins. Or not simultaneous, but, close enough. Everyone's dying to know his connection with Dabi. When can we expect a press conference? Bro, he's in surgery right now. They're thinking back to this weirdo that rode around on an orb way back at the start of this student internship arc where they're volunteering at Endeavor's hero dispatch agency, who said these weird prophecies. His shining light beckons the dark. It precipitates our demise. I don't know. I think this guy was just an old coot. Crazy. His flames are stronger than Dad's. I couldn't win with firepower alone. So strong, those flames full of hate. He's been watching us this whole time. Yeah. This to me was the actually kind of mind-blowing twist. I mean, I think we all saw it coming that Dabi was going to be Todoroki's lost brother. It just made a lot of sense from a storytelling perspective, and they had given quite a few hints as to something like that. But the fact that Dabi had been working in the shadows to orchestrate this psychological torture of Endeavor, just so that this revelation would have the most mind-destroying quality to it, that it would be the most devastating possible. It's that to me was much more shocking, much more impressive. He's basically me. I was also burning with rage up until that day. Dad can't do it. I have to be the one to handle my brother Toya. Okay. Intense. Looks like maybe Todoroki is going to be permanently scarred from this. He already had the one burn on his face. This could be another era of Todoroki burn. His family visits. His throat's all burned so he can't talk. Ooh. Who else is here? Who is this other shadow? His mom? Must be his mom, right? Who else could it be? I think it's his mom. So that's kind of interesting. She's out of the care facility that they'd kept her in. Bakugo, of course, gets the fuck up immediately. He's dead meat. If he thinks he can die on me. Deku's still unconscious? I kind of like this. I kind of like a framing of the main character is just totally unconscious. All of this chaos is happening around him, such that there's like a gap that when he wakes up, kind of seeing what he prioritizes, what Deku is going to do first, what Deku cares about. It's nice. It has like a good feeling of devastation, that you're not with the hero throughout all of these revelations about learning just how crazy Japan is right now. But you see Deku approach this once we've already learned about it. Kind of reminds me of like Mob Psycho. There's a whole arc where Mob is like unconscious through most of it, and then he finally wakes up, and you're like, stuff like that. Midoriya, he's showing no sign of waking up. Dang, he is like in full body cast right now. This is this is gonna be a rough one. Perhaps an unprecedentedly rough one in terms of Midoriya's constant wrecking his own body, recovering, wrecking his own body, recovering. But we will see what happens in chapter 299, closing in on the big 300. I'm so excited for that. See you then.